Hi everyone, thank you for tuning in. If this is your first time tuning in with me, welcome, and if you are a returning viewer, welcome back. So guys, I'm inviting you guys obviously just to get ready with me. I feel like putting on some makeup today. I've been giving my skin a break all week. It's been really dry. I've just washed my face with my old trusty, the Nivea Perfect Radiant Perfect and Radiant cleansing foam, and I'm just gonna hydrate my skin as I get ready. I'll be starting off with the serum. This is the Wet n Wild priming serum, the Rebel Rose. I actually done a review on this, and you guys can check it out if you'd like. Okay, so guys, it's day 5 of the quarantine. Let me know how you guys are doing and what you guys have been up to. As the title suggests, please excuse my nails guys, I haven't had a chance to do it yet. As the title suggests guys, I'm just going to be chatting a bit today, telling you guys about so I've never really spoken about this. 2019 was a very tough year for my family guys. I made a video where I was thankful, just explaining that we made it through 2019 to 2020. That was the beginning of the year, but like I said, I've never gone into detail as to what really happened. So this is why I've titled this story time, and I'm just gonna open up and I'll explain why I did not say anything sooner. I didn't feel ready, and I didn't feel the time was right. I do however feel that I'd like to speak out, and I'd like to just encourage someone who might be going through something similar. So guys, it started actually in 2018. We went through a really tough time. We received some very hard news with regards to my husband's health. Very tough news. I won't go into detail, and well, only because it's his story and I feel it's something he should tell. So I will just speak of my part of the struggle eventually, as the title suggests, when I had the miscarriage. So we went on a journey with his health, and I found out, guys, because my skin is really dry, sorry, I'm just gonna add some cream as well. This is the Plurus Matcha Green Tea Antioxidant Antioxidant Primer. So after his treatment, I found out I'm just trying to get the dates right guys, I think it was in June, in July I think it was, I found out that we were expecting our second child, and we were quite surprised, as with these diagnoses we were actually told that there's a 50% chance that we might not be able to have any more kids. And for those of you out there who are only children like myself, I grew up as an only child. It's always been my dream to have like more than one child, maybe not a whole bunch, but at least 2, just so that your kid has a sibling, because I always dreamed of having a sibling. So we were shocked and we felt so blessed. It was like a miracle, you know. After the news we had received, we just took it like, we actually just trusted like God's will be done. If it is for us to have another one, we will, but we didn't expect to get pregnant so soon. And yes, so in end of July or beginning of July, I found out I'm expecting, and we were obviously excited and stuff, and made an appointment with my gynecologist. And they actually suggested, because it was they were quite fully booked, they only had space for me in like 2 months from when I called in, and they suggested that I go to my GP and just get the blood tests done and things temporarily, because by the time I will go in for the appointment with him, I would be about 3 months pregnant already. So they suggested that I go to the GP, and I made the appointment with the GP and I went in. Guys, I'm gonna go in with the infallible primer, the mattifying base primer. Actually, you know what? Because my skin is so dry, I'm not going to use that. I'm just going to moisturize. I'll just go in with straight with the foundation, the Wet n Wild. This is the foundation stick. It's in the color sand beige. So I went to the GP and they took the blood tests. So the first thing he said was that my count is quite low, considering the amount of weeks that I'm pregnant. But he said it's not a problem. You would just like to do another blood test in about a week. I must come back and they'll do another blood test. And that was a bit concerning, but I wasn't really too concerned because with my daughter, with my first pregnancy, I just made an appointment with a gynae and I went straight to the gynecologist. So I did not go through the GP and that sort of thing. But he just assured me, just routine, he just wants to make sure that baby is growing, that the what is this, the something HC something hormones in your body is, if that count rises, then it means the baby's growing properly and that sort of thing. So I'm just going to blend this in with a brush, and so I went back a week later and he'd done the blood tests. If you see the results, often he actually didn't get back to me, and obviously I was worried sick because I don't know, I just became concerned. Like, I've never had this done, the tests and things, and the fact that he felt the need to do it, I think, was just stressing me out even more. And I contacted him, and that's when he let me know that the stats have dropped. He's really sorry to have to inform me that the baby stopped growing. We've lost the baby. The pregnancy has ended, basically. And I was obviously shocked and disappointed, and I didn't know what to do. So this is actually why I'm making this video, why I'm speaking out. It's just for anyone who might be going through, so that you know the process. I was very early, though. I found out quite early. I'm someone, I know my body very well, so I always find it really early when I'm expecting. And I called my gynecologist. He was not in, he was on leave, and they gave me the number of his stand-in, so when he's not available, there's someone else that you can contact. So I had to call this doctor, this other guy in me, and he just informed me that, look, because it's so early, I will just start bleeding. It'll be, he said, like a normal period, and but if I don't start bleeding within a week, then I need to go see my gynecologist. And also, once I've started bleeding, once I'm done with the bleeding, I need to go see my gynae. They need to do a scan just to make sure everything, that my womb is clean and clear, basically. And I was still in denial. You know, you're always in denial, especially for those of you out there who already have a child. I already have my daughter. I was still in denial, thinking that, you know, maybe they're wrong, maybe the stats will rise again, maybe the baby will start growing. But guys, the very next day, I started bleeding. So that was on the Wednesday when they confirmed that the pregnancy stopped. The Thursday I started bleeding, and that's when I knew. I think that's when it really hit me. So the news, I was sad, I cried, but you still hang on to that hope, like, well, I'm not bleeding, you know, because that's the first thing the receptionist of my gynae asked me, like, are you losing the child now? And I said, no, like, I'm not bleeding. Like, so according to me, because I done a test, I done 2 tests even, I was pregnant, and even the test at the doctor, the blood test, was positive. And then she was like, you'll start bleeding. And this gentleman, the doctor, also told me to start bleeding. I started bleeding the Thursday, and that's when it really hit me, guys. And it hit me hard because this was our miracle, you know. After receiving news that you might not be able to have another child, and then falling pregnant, you're like, oh my word, this is a miracle, and all these things. And then we lost the baby, and so I bled for a week, 7 days, which is longer than my normal period. Like this gentleman, I keep saying the gentleman, but it's actually a doctor. The doctor told me that it'll be like a period, but for me it wasn't. It was very emotional. Every time I had to go and change myself, I became emotional all over again, just knowing that this is my baby, you know, this would have been my baby. This is constantly how I was feeling, going through that period. And yeah, it was really tough. That week was really tough. Like I said, I bled for longer than my period, because I usually bleed between 4 to 5 days for a period. I bled 7 days, and it was not easy because it was very so this is very TMI, guys, but it was very chunky. It wasn't like a normal period. It was obviously, the womb was breaking down, and the womb had been preparing itself for the pregnancy and the fetus and everything else that's coming out, so it was quite chunky, and it was really devastating for me going to the toilet every time needing to change myself, and it was tough. So after that, I insisted, because my gynae's appointment was still like 3 weeks away. I called him and I said, please, as per the other doctor, once I'm done bleeding, I need to come and see my gynecologist. And the lady was kind enough to move my appointment forward to the first day when my doctor is back from leave. And I went in, and he explained to me, this was really tough to hear, guys, because my daughter was only 1.5 years at the time, and I was still, she was younger, she was 1 year and 3 months, and I was still breastfeeding her. And the doctor explained to me that it's quite common for women who are still breastfeeding to have this, is what they call a biochemical miscarriage or pregnancy, because you were pregnant, the egg was conceived, or what is it, the egg and the sperm, there was conception that took place. However, the growth obviously is interrupted, because the nutrients then goes to the breast milk. And you know what, guys, I'm not gonna lie to you, what upset me, I just want to encourage you guys to not Google is not the answer, guys. No offense to Google, like they don't know everything, because I googled the moment I found out I was pregnant. The first thing that came to mind is I'm still breastfeeding my daughter, and I googled and they said no, there's no problem if you breastfeed the one child. Some parents still breastfeed the one child during the pregnancy, they even breastfeed both once the other one is born, and all these things. And I thought, okay, well then it's fine, and I continued. And then obviously when I lost the baby, like 2 weeks after I'd found out, actually 3 weeks after I found out, I was really devastated, guys, to hear the reason was because of breastfeeding. And because then I felt like it was my fault, you know, I should have stopped. But I did Google, you know, and they said it was fine. And then my doctor said no, the lactocin or something, some hormone that the body excretes to create the breast milk, is the same thing that will take nutrition away from the unborn fetus. Wow, guys, it was really tough to hear that. Thank God it didn't break me, but I was really close. I was really felt down. I felt like a bad parent, because I felt I'd let the one down that we had lost. Obviously my daughter was still very young, she didn't understand what's going on, and she was 1 year and 3 months, like I said. And my doctor said, you know what, my gynecologist, he's a really awesome doctor. He's an older gentleman, really experienced, and he really takes time with his patients, and he knows I'm a young mom, so there's a lot that I don't know. I have a lot of questions, and he's really patient to answer them, and I really appreciate that about him. So let me just get some concealer on, guys. I'm talking such a lot. It's because I don't want to get emotional right now, but it's not easy talking about this, but I know I need to speak out. I know that we go through things in life, and there's other people who go through it too. It's not just me. It's quite common, and I just feel maybe there's someone out there who's going through that, and you want to know how other people got through, so that's why I'm sharing. I'll just use my Revolution foundation stick in the color F8, just as a little bit of concealer. Sorry. So guys, I was tough to hear, and my gynecologist told me that I shouldn't be worried. Like, he knows that like within a month's time I'll see him again, because I'll be expecting. And obviously he was like saying it in a, not a jokey way, but trying to cheer me up type of thing, and I appreciate that he was being so polite about it. But I always thought, like, what are the chances? And I just tried to focus on getting over it, and I focused on loving my family, and my husband and my mom were a great help in helping me through that, and another friend of mine also, because you know, you feel kind of responsible. So I'm gonna take my beauty blender and just whip this just with some setting spray. They really encouraged me, and so I would say the first thing you need to do if you're going through this is have a good support system. You need to confide, you need to have, if you're still in contact with the baby's daddy, hopefully there will be support there, and from your parents hopefully, and if you have a good friend that you can confide in, just to help you through this time, because trust me, you're gonna need it. You cannot do it alone. I would not suggest that you withdraw yourself at this time. So I focused on my family and just healing, and I had to accept the fact that it wasn't my fault. There was no way that I could have known, especially since I did do research to find out if what I was doing was a danger to my unborn child. And like I said, I was misinformed, which for me was quite unfortunate. And like even my pastor encouraged me. He said it's good not to dwell on the what ifs. Don't ever think, what if I had stopped breastfeeding, despite what I read. Like you shouldn't ponder on that, and also as to why this happened. Sometimes, he also explained that sometimes nature has a way of disposing of, because of the aggressive treatment my husband had undergone. We also thought that it was because of his treatment, but it was not. My doctor confirmed it was definitely because of the breastfeeding. He said it's quite common. So that was also a blow for me, why I thought it was my fault. So I had to deal with all those emotions and not blame myself for what had happened, which was tough, guys. It took time. And obviously when I found out I was pregnant, I actually stopped gymming, because I was like working on losing weight and still working on losing the other one's baby weight and things, and I'd stopped doing that. So after doctor confirmed my womb is clean, I was working on my mental health, and I decided, you know what, I'm gonna start gymming again and work on my physical health. Because sometimes, you know, when you're out with appearance, I don't know if that's how I feel, sometimes if you make yourself, you know, just get up, get out of bed, get showered, put a little makeup, and you'll feel better already, even though it's just on the outside. Sometimes it just helps on the inside as well. And this is kind of what I done, pulling myself through. Got a little bit easier every week after, like week after week, you felt a bit better. I started slowly at the gym again, and eventually I was going hard. This was like a month later and so on. That's when I noticed that my stomach was just bloated. I was gymming my butt off, guys, and I was not seeing the results I wanted, and I wasn't eating more. I was eating quite well, actually, quite healthy, and I didn't see results that I wanted. So I was a bit frustrated. My stomach just looked so bloated, and I realized like I have this waist trainer thing that I can put on as well, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go hardcore. I'm gonna put on the waist trainer when I go to gym and that sort of thing. And something told me, like, just do a pregnancy test, and I was like, why would you, you know, this is not even 2 months after the miscarriage, why would you want to do another pregnancy test? And I was like, no, let me just do one to make sure. I don't want to do anything like put this on thinking that I could be endangering another child. So I done a pregnancy test. It was early in the morning before I went to gym. I used to gym at 5 in the morning, so took the pregnancy test, and you know, 2 lines are supposed to be. I just had a cheapie in my cupboard, and it's supposed to be 2 pink lines, and there was a pink line, the normal one that can be for positive and negative, and I imagined I saw a little faint line, like, but it was like grayish. And then I was like, no, you know, don't hang on to hope. of something that isn't so, and it was very, very faded and faint, and I was like, no, I don't think this is positive. And I basically threw the test away, and I put on my waist trainer, and I went to gym that whole week, and I was like working my butt off, you know, eating even less because I wanted to see results, because obviously you're working on your appearance now, you want to lose that baby fat. And I lost a lot of weight after my first child, but I was still working toward a goal. I wanted to be how I was like before the baby and that sort of thing. So a week later, I still, guys, my stomach was even bigger. I was like, what's going on, you know? And I was very, also TMI, guys, very, very bloated, gassy, full of gas, and I'm like, something's not right. And I felt the need, even my mom said, she's like, why don't you do another test? Because I explained to her like what was going on, and she said also like, do a test. And I told her like, I feel stupid doing this because it's like you're hanging on to hope, and you know the doctors was like resounding you, and I'm like, no, it can't be. And I eventually convinced myself to do the second test, guys, and lo and behold, I was pregnant again. And that was like 2 months basically after the miscarriage, and I was like, how is this possible? Nonetheless, I made an appointment with the gynae, went, check up, baby was there and healthy. So this is now, like I've mentioned on the channel already, I am expecting, I am 22 weeks now so far with our second child, and this is baby, another miracle baby, guys. And the reason why I didn't talk about it sooner is, like I said, because I was not ready, and I was very scared to talk about this pregnancy on social media because I was not sure how long the pregnancy would last, if I'm honest with you. Because once you have a miscarriage, they always ask you that on your record, and they'll keep it on your record, you know. So in future, because they ask you like if you had one, they say how many, because the chances, you know, is kind of increased once you've had one. So I was really nervous about the second pregnancy, guys. We were like praying through the first trimester like anything just to get through with baby, and we're really excited. It's a boy, so we're having a pigeon pair, and we feel so blessed. That's why 2019, guys, was a tough year for us, like really crazy. And it seems like 2020 has its own kind of crazy. I mean, here we are stuck at home, you know, for like 21 days, but we understand why the president has made this decision. I'm just gonna set my face with some translucent powder while I chat, because I'm just chatting away here. I can't help but get into it because it's such a sensitive topic, guys, and it was such a struggle for me. I talk about it now and I seem okay, guys, but I was not okay. I was not okay to talk about it. I couldn't. There's very few people in my life that know about what had happened, because it was a tough thing and we weren't ready to talk about it, so we just didn't, you know. And I think healing is a very important part of this process. So I'd like to encourage anyone who might be going through this right now, please, like I said, don't try and do this alone. You need the support of loved ones, people who truly care about you. So reach out, tell someone close to you. Don't be shy about it. It's really honestly, I don't think people can relate unless they've been through it. I don't think they can even understand. Some people will just say, oh, it's an unborn fetus and you can have another child. It's really emotional knowing that. I think it's tough when you knew and you were getting excited about it, and like in our case, it was like, oh my word, God had answered our prayers. We just said we're gonna trust God when the doctors like told us that there's a 50% chance that we might not have again, that sort of thing, you know. We were just like, oh, we're gonna trust God. And so to hear that you're pregnant and then that you're not, it was tough, guys. But like I said, I'd just like to encourage you out there, if you're going through this, you're not alone. And I'm not the only one that has been through this. I have awesome friends who confided in me, and I never knew. that they had been through something similar. And my one friend was even younger than me when she went through this, and she had no one to support her, guys. And it's really tough. You need just someone, even if it's just a shoulder to cry on, even if they've never been through it, even if they can't relate, just for you to know there's someone who cares, that it's not your fault. We need to hear these things, guys, honestly. So I'm just gonna try and speed up the makeup process as I talk, because I don't want the video to be as long as my previous one. I don't know if you guys have seen on my channel my previous video. Oh my word, guys, it was like 50 minutes long, and I'm really sorry about that. It's a brow tutorial. I do 2 different looks, and I tried to edit as much as possible out it, guys. It was just so tough, because I had a lot to say. There was a lot that I wanted to say. I contemplated on splitting it into 2, but I don't know, I didn't do it. So I'm going to just do a bit of sorry, my throat, contouring. I'm going to go in with the LA Girl Spice palette. I'm going to take this lovely dark bronze over here just to snatch my cheeks up a bit, give me some shape over there. Yes, guys, so we're really excited about this new little one. And if you are someone who's trying to feel pregnant and you've been through that unfortunate or sad scenario, guys, I'd like to encourage you as well. You know what, when these things tend to, like, they catch you off guard. I think when you're really focusing on it and really trying to get pregnant, because deep down in my heart, when the doctors told me, or gave my husband the news they gave him in 2018, you know, I knew that deep down in my heart it was my desire to have another one, but I didn't have a time frame, and I just took it, Lord, in your time. And guys, I don't want to be like all preachy and things, but honestly, like, don't focus on it. If you focus on it, sometimes the thing you focus on the most, it doesn't happen. And the moment you just forget about it, and just like I said, focus on yourself, focus on the people you have in your life, love on them, you know, that really helps with your healing, because you're actually putting stress on your body when you're thinking about, oh, so much, I want to be pregnant, It actually leads to the point where it doesn't happen. And because the body is a funny thing, it doesn't like stress. So I would suggest, if you are trying to get pregnant, just actually stop thinking about it and stop trying. Like, you know, like, I have a friend that is actually struggling to conceive, and she asked me, like, you know, how? I'm like, you can't ask me, like, I didn't try. You know, that thing of trying, I don't like that word, because if it's meant to be, it will happen. But you need to just not focus on it. You know, if it's constantly on your mind, it's gonna obscure everything else in your life. And I would actually suggest that you just put it to the back of your mind, and, you know, just lay your prayers at the feet of the Lord, and just live your life, you know. And this is what I done. So I would just like to encourage you, if you are someone who is trying, please just stop stressing. Just even now, just stop stressing. So I'm gonna go in with this blush, this nice dark blush on the same LA Girl palette. Honestly, and before you know it, like, you will be enjoying life, and the next thing you know, you will be finding out that you're pregnant. Because this is not just, I'm not just speaking about myself, because this happened to me with the first pregnancy and the second. It happened to a friend of mine as well. She has been wanting a baby for the longest time since I met her, and I love her to bits. And not long after she had gotten married, in fact I think a month or 2, she found out that she was expecting. And there's other friends of mine as well. There's lots of people that can account for, and that was not on her mind. She was not focusing on that. They just got married, they just bought a house, they've been doing so many things, transitioning, and that was the furthest thing from her mind at the time. And that's when it happened. So I'd just like to encourage you with that. If you are someone who had a miscarriage and you're trying, don't give up. I won't say give up, however, stop focusing, stop trying. You know, that thing of trying, you know, I don't like that word, because sex doesn't actually make a baby. I believe that babies are given, you know, because there's many people having sex and they're not falling pregnant. and it doesn't happen every time you have sex. So it's, yeah, so it's basically, I just realized now, I don't know if YouTube will like the fact that I use that word. I hope they don't ban this video. Let me say intercourse as opposed to the other one. However, guys, I just like to encourage you with that. Let me just finish this makeup look, because like I said, I'm chatting all the time and I'm really gonna probably end up with another 15-minute video. I don't even know how far I am in the video. I was thinking of a kind of corally vibe. I don't usually do coral looks, sorry guys. I'm just trying to get some brushes. There's so many, but you know, you have your favorites. I don't have got so many brushes, but I have my favorites, guys. And let me just, I'm gonna take this. I've not tried this e.l.f. palette out yet, guys. I've had it for a while, so I'm excited to try it. I'm gonna go in with this lovely orangey color over here. It's called Sassy. So let's try the Sassy one out. Okay. It's not bad. Okay. Then I'm going to go in with the Cheeky. It's a similar color, just darker. And I'm just putting this on the outer corners of my eyes. And I'm going to go in the crease as well with it, the darker one. Okay. I'm going to change brushes. I'm going to go in with this lovely brown color over here called Warm. Yes guys, so please comment in the comment section. Let me know what you guys have been up to during this quarantine time. It is day 5 here in South Africa since we've been on lockdown, and I'm sure most of our makeup lovers, we've been keeping busy with different looks, trying out palettes we haven't had a chance to try out. Well, that is myself. I've been reviewing things like crazy. I love doing product reviews, guys, but let me know what you guys have been up to, spending time with the family. We've just been trying to make the best of the situation, I'm sure. I'm just gonna blend these out. I'm just gonna go in back with this orange over here for the top part here. Okay, over the side as well. And then I'm gonna get a nice blending brush quickly, nice fluffy one. Even had time to wash all my brushes. I'm sure most of you guys have also been cleaning brushes. Hopefully, guys, please tip. Skin health, the trick to healthy skin is also using clean brushes. You can't apply makeup with a bacteria filled tool, so please keep those brushes clean. Not just your brushes, your beauty blender and everything. Okay, wow, I'm actually quite liking how this is turning out. Okay, then I'm gonna go in with this lovely Huda Beauty. I think this is the Desert Dusk palette. I'm going to try. Is this brush? I have to get out. I think I'm gonna wet this brush, but I'm gonna try the, what is this? Nefertiti. Interesting name. It's this one over here. Lovely color. I've not touched it. Let me just wet it a bit. The brush. Okay. And I'm gonna add this color. Ooh, it's pretty. I'm just getting this more. Okay, I'm gonna go the same on the other side. Okay, I should actually use the mirror on here. I mean, I had this thing in front of it, so I forget there's a mirror on here, which would help. Okay, I'm gonna go back in with this one that had the orangey color on. Just touch up over here. Right. I like it, guys. Okay, I'm gonna take use this fluffy brush that I like so much, smaller one, this one, and I'm gonna just fluff out under my eyes because I don't like when powder folds up and just like it's, I don't like it to get cakey or anything. Not that it will, but just to prevent it, I always just fluff out a bit more. Okay. All these areas, right? Okay. I'm gonna go into my brows, guys. Gonna take this brow brush and just brush them upward over here. Okay. So like I've mentioned, guys, I've done a brow tutorial that I uploaded yesterday. It's a bit long, but you know what? If you have the time, like I mentioned in there, just grab a snack, right? And if you want, you can even use it. You can pause as I go along because it's really detailed, so you can sit and try it out as you do it. So you might need to pause and play back as you try and attempt the looks, but it's really easy to do, guys, and it's for thick brows and thin brows. So I don't just cater for, like myself, I've got quite full brows naturally. I just usually fill in, but if you don't, if you really someone need to draw them all on, you know, that can help you as well. So I'm just gonna go in with my LA Girl Brow Bestie, right? I've already brushed them up now, so I'm gonna go in the other side of with the pencil. And I'm just gonna fill in a bit. Yes, I do the fluffy and the insta brow on that tutorial, guys. It's really, like I said, easy to follow. So just grab a snack and check it out. And if you do attempt to do brow looks, please let me know. I put my social media. I got Instagram. Tag me, you know, if you do attempt these looks, tag me. I would love to see how they're working for you. Sorry for the background noise, guys. One of my neighbors sound to be doing some renovations. You know, people at home, so they fixing things, doing things. but they've never really had time to do, which I think is awesome. So I don't mind a bit of noise. Usually I film when my daughter's asleep, and it's usually quiet, but of late it's been a bit noisy because people have been busy, obviously because people are home, so it's a bit of an adjustment for myself, but we'll make it work. Okay, so I fold them in. Right. Oh. Oh, I'm gonna go in with some lovely, I'm gonna use my Born to Glow palette by NYX. I'm going to use this lovely angled brush. Color. I wonder, I'm gonna take this pretty color up here in the corner. I actually don't know the name. They don't have, like, maybe they have names at the back, but I'm gonna check now. So I'm just gonna get some highlighter on the inner corners of my eyes over here. Oh, I realized I didn't add the mascara yet. I usually do my highlighter after my mascara, but that's fine. Get some there. Let me get some. Ooh, some highlighter. Is this fluffy? I need a new one. She's really like fluffing out. Fluffy brush. I love it to apply the highlighter. And this next one just goes on so lovely. I've got some makeup in my ear as usual. Okay. Oh, look at that glow. Awesome stuff. Okay, so, oh, I didn't contour my nose as well, guys. Let me just do a little something to that nose. I'm gonna go, where is my, I'm gonna go back with the LA Girl. I'm gonna take the same bronze, what is this, bronzer color, and just lightly, guys, because this is quite dark. I don't usually go so dark, but I usually use the bronzer that I've used on my face on the nose area as well. So as you guys can see, this is quite dark, so I'm just going to blend this out. I'm going to take the same fluffy brush that I used to fluff out the other powders. Okay, let's get that sorted, fluffing that out. Okay, mascara, guys. How can I forget? I'm gonna give this, you know, people were ranting and raving about the Essence mascara, and I went out and bought, but I already chatted to one of the groups that I'm in on Facebook, beauty groups. You know, we just share, as fellow makeup lovers, we share tips and things, so it's really awesome. They said the princess one or something, so I apparently took the wrong one. But the problem I have with this one is just that the tool, oh, look at all this product. The tool is so big, guys. Look at this. It's huge. So if you have shorter lashes, even, like my lashes are long, but I still struggle to just like get in there. So I'm giving it another try now, but they say the formula is awesome. But they say of the other, I think it's the princess or extreme fake lashes or something, I'm not sure, but a black and purple one apparently. I don't know, let me know in the comments below which drugstore mascara is your favorite. I personally like the L'Oreal Paris one, Paradise or something. I use it, like if you go back on some of my videos, I use it quite often, just for, because also if you're familiar with my channel, I don't usually do falsies, so I double up on mascara. I use two different kinds of mascara. So sorry guys, I'm like so filled with wind. Like you can see, it's not bad, it really does something, but it's just so huge. Super huge. Guess it's just something you need to get used to when you're using it, I guess. For the lips, I've decided I'm going to go in firstly with my smudge, the gel lip pencil in the color medium brown. I'm loving the lip pencils. Okay. Right, so I'm gonna go in. I found also, guys, so many products I've not yet used. This is the Ultra Lip Gloss by Colourpop. This is in the color Secret Weapon. So it was actually a freebie that they sent to me when I placed an order with them. And I just think that this corally orange color would go nicely with like the kind of eye look I've attempted to do. Wow. Okay. Oh, it smells like chocolate. It's nice. Or candy rather. Let me just get this one. Oh, I see, it's not very pigmented actually. It's like a see-through gloss almost. Okay. Okay, if I had known I'd maybe I would have applied lipstick first. But it's okay. Let me just do the top and let's see what we get, because it's like a total different texture. It wasn't quite what I was expecting. Yeah, it's really like a gloss, guys, so this is nice for over lipstick or something, because it doesn't really give a whole lot of color on its own, you know. So let me just get this here. I'm sure you ladies with the thin lips know the struggle. You're always going over the lines and things. Okay, I'm not mad. It's interesting. Maybe I'm glad that it's not as dark or as bright as this, because I don't know what I was expecting. It's not really like a paint thing, it's more like a gloss. So I kind of like it. Obviously just outline my lips with a darker pencil. Okay guys, so this is the final look. Please let me know in the comments below what you think of this look. Also, for those of you who have tuned in for the story and for the miscarriage info that I've given, you know, I just want to encourage you to take heart and you will get through this. Also, if you are not the one who is going through this, but you know of a family member or a close friend who's going through this, please share it with them. And I really do hope that this encourages them. That is the main purpose of this video, is just to encourage someone who's been through what I've been through. And I know it can really be hell. I can only speak about this now. This is like 6, almost 7 months after it's happened. And it's something you'll never forget. Let me just say, you can kind of, I won't say get over it, but you will never forget. And so please share this with someone that it can encourage. Thank you so much for watching the video, and I'll catch you on the next video.